Welcome. Welcome to Creativity and Innovation. My name is Dr. Steve Diasio, and I will be the faculty facilitating this course, Creativity and Innovation. And I could not be more excited for you of what you're going to experience in this class. I've put a lot of time, effort, and I already know that you are talented. Many of you have a range of skills, a range of talents, a range of hobbies. And my hope is you tap into those or tap into new creative abilities that maybe you haven't worked on, or maybe you have forgotten, or maybe we have actually educated you out of your creative self. But I already know that each one of you are creative, and we'll be discovering that in this process of evaluating your creativity. So, welcome. Uh, Thank you for joining online this morning. Many of you know there's a power outage at Tampa, and it's important that we have some sort of session today in order to lay the groundwork for what we can experience over the course of the semester. So, let me take a quick look on how many people are here and see if we can do maybe a round robin of how about this? Let's do this. I really like engagement. There's 34 people on here. It's probably a bit cumbersome to go around and say your name and say what major. But if you can and you're capable, can you type in the chat your major and maybe one reason why you decided to sign up for this course? And I'll monitor that as we go through. This way you get to engage with each other, get to know where everyone's background. This is one of the most popular courses at USF. Um, it's filled up in 2 days. Like, so, so it's in high demand. Um, and there's reasons why, and you'll see as you go through this course. So I want to wish everyone great, thank you. Entrepreneurship major, wonderful. Studio art major. I know we have some music major, architecture. Well, this is wonderful because you're going to see a lot of talent from each one of you. So let's start off like this. The course is broken down into two main modules. One, you're discovering about what creativity is. We might hold certain assumptions right now, and we'll try to demystify them, and we'll understand our creativity through some um, the four main pillars that are tied to our textbook. The four main pillars you'll find out is the creative person, where you will rediscover your creative self, your creative environment. Those who are around you will help aid you in your creativity, the creative process, and the creative products and services. And within each of these sections, there are content, and there's content that you're expected to cover, along with the exercises that are in the um, evaluating your creativity book, which is in the bookstore. The challenge with the bookstore is they labeled the course wrong, or they labeled the title wrong. And I've asked them 5, 10 times to change it, but they haven't. So the book in the bookstore is correct, um, even though they have the title incorrect. There is another textbook called Creativity Rising, which will give us quite a bit of meat. And that book is interesting. And I recommend people buying it because it's deeply tied to some of the leading thinkers in creative thinking. And the complementary book that we have, the Evaluating Your Creativity, complements that through different exercises. Okay. So think of it like this. You'll be working through the whole semester, completing the entire book of Evaluating Your Creativity. On top of that, you'll be going through a series of content or videos that are embedded uh, in Canvas. And as you go through the content, you'll have homework assignments that tie directly to that content and will ask you prompts, ask you to fill out certain exercises. And they're not meant to be difficult. Remember, this is a 300 level course. We're not asking you to be Picasso. We're not asking you to be Dali. We're asking you just to rethink and reconsider your creative ability, because I'm confident, well, maybe studio art and maybe music. Maybe you have been tapping into your creativity, but let me be fair. Those in accounting, those in finance, those in even supply chain, they may not have the same experience. So we have to have a common um, baseline to move and work from. So I want you to think of each section of the course canvas tied to a specific series of exercises in the Evaluating Your Creativity book. You're free to work ahead, but know that I would prefer if you followed the way the structure of Canvas went, because there's specific reasons why I'm revealing information as you go through and then complete those exercises, because they deeply tie and prompt you um, um, uh, to those exercises. Yes, Nathan, you had a hand raised.
So I looked for your book on other places like your website, and it wasn't available because I didn't want to pay the $150 at the bookstore. Do you have any other places we could buy it that you know of?
I know that I've been teaching using this book for several years, so it's already out there.
Okay,
Yeah. Um, you know, I'll put it this way: everyone needs their cut, and USF needs their cut, and that's why they're forcing everyone to buy it at the bookstore.
understood. I just was wondering if there was any other places. Thank you.
Yeah. Um, I will. I'm happy to talk to you about the book offline. Uh, USF definitely needs their cut, and that's why they're for. And the bookstore, geez, you wouldn't believe how much the bookstore does. Better than everyone else, I'll tell you that. Um, but yeah, so the answer is yes, it's out there. Remember, you need the second edition because it's much more extensive. Um, um, but there's plenty of places to find if you're willing to be creative. Cool, awesome. Um, So within these bigger modules, you have content pages. Most of you are familiar with Canvas. As I suggested, I prefer if you followed the pages, you went through the content and then completed the exercises. I've removed a fair amount of work because let's be honest, last semester was really tough. Does anyone else feel that way?
Yeah, with all the schedule changes, it was hectic.
Yeah. Yeah, and the students were actually getting swamped with the amount of workload. The course isn't difficult, the work isn't difficult, but they were having a challenge with managing it. So I removed quite a bit of work. There will be opportunity to do that, maybe through extra credit or some other opportunities. But there's more of a streamline because last semester was easily my most difficult semester teaching. And if it was the most difficult semester teaching, I'm pretty sure it's been the most difficult semester as a student as well. I've seen the stories. Uh, I've had people staying at my house for a month because they didn't have a house. And many of you guys might be still in that same situation because a lot of people were impacted. Um, the second half of this semester is made up of understanding innovation. This is a word like creativity or like entrepreneurship that is thrown around. That is thrown around a lot. And we start unpacking and putting context to what innovation is. I'm going to tell you something. No one's ever told you this. But in your jobs going forward, you will be constantly be asked to do more with less, to produce more efficiency, to do less or do more with less resources. And your workload from your managers and who you work for are they're not going to say, "Oh, I'm going to just take that away from you." They're just going to give you more. And you're going to be asked to do more innovation, create more efficiency, create new products and services, how to improve processes. It doesn't matter what industry you're in. But the reality is, most people out in the working world have never taken an innovation course, have never taken a creativity course, and probably have never even taken an entrepreneurship course because these topics are relatively new. They used to always be folded into either management or economics before that. So, what you're going to be learning is kind of, I would frame the new paradigm of work. And we're kind of building that base with here in this first half of the semester, and then the second half, we're going to be demystifying of what innovation is. All of you can hold up. I don't have my cell phone in front of me, but all of you can hold up some sort of a product that we purchase. If it's an iPhone, I have the DJI little microphones, yeah, tablets, whatever. Guess what? Phones, what? Exactly. The Stanley. These are all forms of innovation. And guess what? If you like these products or you like making new things, there are jobs just for you out there in the real world that gets paid really, really well. I'll give you an example. Orlando Magic hires interns to be in their innovation department. Major League Baseball hires interns and jobs in innovation to improve the fan experience. NBA hires people in innovation. Accenture, McKinsey, Deloitte, all three of those firms, which are historically management consulting firms, they've purchased some of the largest design and innovation firms in the nation. Why? Because it's becoming more and more important to help other firms innovate. And if you get a job with one of them, that's $100,000 at walking out the door of your undergrad. And that's possible. Same thing with, have you guys ever heard of Prudential Group or Prudential? So they have a new massive financial company, massive, like one of the biggest in the world. They've just relocated their Prudential Group Investment Management from New York City and Manhattan to down Midtown Tampa. If you guys know where REI is, or Whole Foods right there, right across, there's another building in there. They have their headquarters. They have 100+ team just on innovation. Starting salary 110. They're looking to build out their workforce. So there's whole careers. If you want to even look up design, design thinking, design strategist, design leadership, all of these are different types of terms for job descriptions for people who have the skill sets that you will start to learn in this class. And then if you go on to take my other courses with a deep dive in innovation, deep dive in consulting, building your own venture, you can do that. But this is just the foundation. So we have a common language. Because if I asked you guys, what does innovation mean, the definition for you, we'll probably get 30 different answers. And that's because there's not a common understanding. We have to understand the context. And if we're ever expected to lead, manage, cultivate innovation, we have to be able to define it. And we start to learn to do that in this course. Perfect. So here's some important things that you need to do. So today's Monday. This session is open to all of my online students in this course and face-to-face students. The reason is, why should learning be tied to one modality or the other? I believe in an open classroom. You'll see this in your work. You'll see this in the reading. Education doesn't just happen in the confines of a physical classroom or even a digital classroom. So why shouldn't you be able to interact with an online student who is curious to meet you, to build a network, to learn more, to be engaged differently? There's no reason. So I've invited even our online students to participate if possible. With that being said, there is no physical requirement to attend the in-person sessions. I got about 15 emails from students who aren't on the Tampa campus, but were forced to sign up for the face-to-face campus session because it filled up so fast, online filled up so fast, so they can't even attend. So one way for me to support them in their learning, um, um, is to uh, provide alternative ways to access engagement. There was a comment. Let me look at the comment. What did it say? But in-person sessions are insane. The in-person sessions are officially in Tampa. The USF has taken away all in-person classes in St. Pete and has moved them to Tampa. So these sessions will be in Tampa, and we'll go over when our next session is, because we're not going to have them twice a week every week. We'll have some once a week, some twice a week, and we'll go from there. So yes, that's a good question. When we meet, it'll be in Tampa. We're scheduled for BSN 1101. Oh, Maria had the same question. Let's see here. I'm currently in another class that's in person right now. Okay. Are these sessions recorded? This session's recorded. When we are in person, I'll try to do my best to record them, because no new content in those sessions will be given. But we might go on field trips. We might have guest speakers. We might do workshops. But no new content will be given. All the content that you need to complete this class is in Canvas, because of these challenges of the multiple campuses and stuff like that. So we don't have to participate in the in-person section. You're invited to, but it doesn't mean that you're required, and there's no points attached to it. So again, this course is what you're going to get out, what you get into it. Meaning, if you come to those sessions, you're going to get out more. If you engage online with the other students, you're going to get out more. If you choose not to engage, you're going to get what you put in. So I encourage you to come. You're invited to come. They're always interesting. However, like I said, we have a lot of different students from different campuses, and this is what I have to do in terms to accommodate all the different types of situations that we're in. But no, it's not required to be in person. And frankly, some of you are taking so many classes, I don't even know how you get your work done. Many of you are working full time or part time, and all of these are the challenges. But what I can guarantee, when we do meet, that will be engaging and it will be fun, but no new content will be given. Fair enough? I can't stress enough, if you want to stay in this course, USF requires you to take the first day attendance. If you haven't done it, please do it. It's due by, I think, Saturday or Sunday. This will confirm your spot in the course. It is very simple. Watch the short video, get motivated, stream, document 200 words to 200 to 500 words. There's no right or wrong answer. Get motivated. Once you do that, hit the submit button, and then you'll be guaranteed a spot in this course. Remember, this course is filled up, and it was filled up 3 days after it opened. So if you get dropped, it's going to be unlikely that you're going to get back in. Make sure you complete the first day attendance. What else? There's a lot of content there. I've spent my whole life in this space of innovation. I spent 3 years with IBM. I've launched 250 new digital products into the market. I currently have my own business. I have the School of Creativity and Innovation. I do consulting, speaker, writer, author, and one thing that I'm really happy to share is our undergraduate entrepreneurship and innovation program is crushing it. I don't know if you guys seen the list of former alumni from this program, but many of you might know them. If you're into music, look up Sacred Snow. If you're into bars and restaurants, look up Bar Mezzo and Intermezzo Cafe. If you know downtown St. Pete, you might know it very well. If you like swimwear, so these are all entrepreneurship majors who have gone off in their own direction because of their own interest. Look up MC Swim, now a fashion brand. Look up Ruben Pressman, our first graduate, $20 million exit within 5 years of graduating from the Entrepreneurship and Innovation program. Sold his firm. He's now owner of the St. Pete Pickleball Club. Look up Doc Living, Nick Price, the largest innovator of co-living space. Look up World Thrift if anyone likes thrifting. Created $5 t-shirt a month club. Turned down a job at Groupon. Groupon used to be big, and that Groupon's not so big anymore. Um, some of you might know Michelle Fenn. Does anyone know Michelle Fenn? The um, makeup mogul from Tampa. I used to teach her at my last institution. She sold her company for 500 million to Estee Lauder within 10 years. Look up The Girl Gone Green, Manuela Barone. Um, these are all people just as talented as you guys, who are using the skills of entrepreneurship, innovation, and creative problem solving to chart their own path. And I know some of you, like Maddie's already doing that. He's crushing it. Yeah. And I know many of other you are doing the same thing. So I've created a playlist. If you want a lot more content from other academics, researchers, and others around these topics, feel free to listen to that. I've curated, I think it's 4 hours of listening. It's supplemental, we'll say, but very interesting topics. Harvard Business Review. Um, it grounds everything that we talk about in class in a broader discussion that's happening in the world. There'll be opportunities to engage with the open educator. That is a podcast that I host. I have a lot of local alumni, entrepreneurs, executives. You can check out all that content. I created that during COVID. You guys went through COVID. You know how difficult it was to engage. That was something that I created in order for us to have a virtual experience when we were all in bed, sick, ill, taking care of loved ones, and we couldn't go to school. We couldn't go to work. We couldn't have that in-person camp. So that was what I created as a way to stay engaged with students. And there's a lot of alumni that are in that podcast that will inspire you to think about how you can live your life or how you can level up and create your own destinies and careers. One of the last one was with you guys. I assume some of you are on TikTok. You guys know Tiffany Kerr, blown up alumni from our program. She goes by the handle, it's Tiffany Kerr. She now has a jewelry line. Part of the proceeds go to fighting human trafficking and helping those who have gone through human trafficking. She has a wonderful story. Some of you might already have a huge following. She gets $2,500 every time she shows a makeup thing in her video. She gets 10,000 for a Fendi shoot. She now has her own business. She's known as an influencer in the personality space. And some of you might be doing the same thing right now on your social media. That's a new career. Some of you are probably making money that way. I have a footballer, semi-professional football. He makes all his money through brands and his community. He's harnessed through Instagram chats and communities. You guys are probably doing the same thing. If not, you could be. You'll learn that in this class. All right, let's talk about the syllabus. Just to So my office is in St. Pete, but like I said, we'll be regularly meeting in Tampa. So I'm happy to meet you whenever. I'm here for you. I'm happy to help talk about careers. I'm happy to connect you with my network. I'm happy to do whatever because I know some of you are going to be graduating soon. Some of you have big decisions to make. Uh, but I want you to know that everyone in this class is a rock star and they are your new BFFs. They want you to succeed. I want you to succeed. We're now each other's raging fans. So go check out Maddie's music. Go follow the music, the playlist, the drops that are made. And I'm sure some of you guys have your own different socials. That's creating a network. That's learning the talent that's here at USF. And there's a lot of it. So there's 5 main assignments, and they're directly tied to the Evaluating Your Creativity book. 4 of those assignments are tied to those pillars, and each of those pillars have about 20 to 25 exercises. They're not hard, but they do take time. So make sure you set time aside. You can work ahead if you want and turn them in, no problem. Each of those sections are worth 200 points. So we have evaluating your assessment part 1, 200 points. Evaluating your creativity assessment exercise part 2, 200 points. Part 3, 200 points. Part 4, 200 points. And then the last one is a unique twist on no one likes taking multiple choices tests. No one thinks that's actually an effective way of learning. Well, here there's a twist on this. You get to create your exam, and there's rules in there of how to do that. And that's worth 200 points. So as you can see, it's not overly difficult. There's 5 main assignments spread out the course of the semester. You're able to work ahead. The due dates are firm. However, we do have flexible grading, meaning you still receive points if you turn the due date or past the due date. You lose 25% every day it's late. You shouldn't have difficulty doing the work if you plan ahead. The homework assignments are spread out every 3 weeks, more or less, 2-3 weeks. So you should be able to accomplish it if you're organized, if you are planning ahead, and if you are engaging with the material. Um, so here's what I recommend going forward. Purchase the book ASAP. ASAP. Start looking at the exercises. Start going through from the top down, starting with work your way down your welcome page. Make sure you take the first day attendance and start reading through module 1. There's a lot of thought-provoking content. Kind of put yourself in that space. Where does your life fall into these topics, such as what is creativity for you? What are the myths and assumptions that you hold, and how are these different? And then reflect on that as you complete those exercises. We'll learn about how Florida is an incredibly, in St. Petersburg and Tampa, is an incredibly innovative and entrepreneurial place. We'll find out how the cigar industry made Tampa famous. We'll find out how Wikipedia put St. Pete on the map. We'll find out how we wouldn't be able to be here today if it wasn't for St. Pete, because we've changed the world. The first commercial air flight happened. We would never be able to travel. I know many of you love to travel, to grow our hearts, to grow our minds. If we didn't have commercial air flight, we complain about driving over the bridge, right? The scary dragons. Well, imagine if before the bridge and before cars, it took by train, it took 6 hours, and by car without the bridge, it took 8 hours. Our hour-and-a-half trip doesn't look so bad, does it? I also gave a shout out to one of our first students who turned in the um, extra credit assignment. So that's still available for the next student, but that's limited to 2 students. And I'll be revealing other extra credit as we go throughout the semester. So I'd like to turn the floor open, open the floor for questions. Here we go. I saw a question right there pop up. Are you still using specifically the second edition of the book? Yes. Do not buy the first edition, second edition. These textbooks are required. If you want to complete the homework, you're going to need the textbooks.
The textbooks that's in the bookstore, they're all the second edition, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And they labeled it wrong. They labeled it the name of this class, but that's the correct book.
Can I
Oh,
ask you?
really?
I'm sorry. I
Oh,
want to
excuse me.
ask
I'm
about
sorry.
yeah. Oh, you want to go ahead? Okay, so I will. So I
No,
want to
you
ask
go ahead.
about.
Sorry.
Okay, so I want to ask about the extra credit because I don't know like where to find the open educator community that you said that it will link in Canvas. Can you instruct me to get there?
Sure. There's several ways to find it. On the first page, on the first homepage, if you click the link, so on the homepage, it has "Welcome to Creativity." There's a short few sentences, a picture, a video of me, and then it says, "Last year we had TikTok star and USF alum Tiffany Kerr." So that's one way. The next way is a few lines down under highlighted. It says, "Open Educator Dr. Steve Diasio. Must follow. You'll need this for your homework."
Oh yeah, I see, I see. Thank you.
Or if you Google it, you'll find it because
Mhm.
I'm on about 30 different distribution lists.
Okay.
And it's also there's also videos. Some play on Spotify and some play on YouTube. So it's out there.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Yes, next question. They are they're both available online, and one of them is available in the physical book. So again, here's what I recommend. Start reading. First, take the first day attendance. It's super easy. Don't get dropped from the class. 2, start reading through the modules. 3, purchase the books. Start looking at the exercises and planning your time and a schedule accordingly. 4, when I give you that, next time we're going to meet is this date. The next time we're going to meet is January 27th. There is no class on the 20th because that's Martin Luther King Day. And Wednesdays that week. So we're going to meet the January 27th and January 29th.
So we don't have class the 22nd.
Correct. Well,
All right.
we're not meeting in person.
Okay.
We have class in the sense of there's plenty of work to do.
Right.
I will be sending out another video providing some updates and maybe some directions, but no new content will be given. All content is already in Canvas. Next classes we will meet on the 29th. Will be January 27th and 29th, and then that week we'll decide more going forward. I have a lot of guests who want to speak. I have a few um, uh, what's it called? Field trips that I'd like to do. Maddie, I'd love to go to the music school and see what creativity looks like in the music school. I would love to see what creativity looks like in sustainability school. What does creativity look like in architectural school, studio arts? Because guess what? My feeling is accounting's never seen what music school looks like. My feeling is we haven't seen what architectural school looks like. And each way, at each place, creativity kind of represents itself slightly different or differently. And this will help put it into practice because we'll start to see how it transpires in different disciplines, different careers, and different contexts, which will be ultimately one of the understandings. Creativity is not a singular thing. In fact, there might be many different definitions depending on the context, depending the situation, and depending the type of meaning behind it. One question, is there any objection to completing sections of the creativity exercises early? Hey, we're all adults here. We got busy schedules. We're juggling a lot of things. If you can get the work done in advance, yes, more power to you. I'm not going to say how you should learn, how you should read, when you should work on my class. We're busy. I know you guys. How many of you guys are taking more than this course? Most. How many people are taking 5 classes? Right. How many people are taking 6 classes? Yeah, but some of you. How many of you working on top of these things? Yeah, I mean, you guys, you, uh, you're adults. I mean, adulting is not always fun, but but you guys are adults. If you need to work on this stuff in advance, yes, go ahead and do it. Lucy, you had your hand raised, or was that just
No, it was just the work part.
oh yeah, yeah. I
It's
mean,
hard.
yeah, it is hard. And my hope, I don't know if this is the case. Um, Unfortunately, more and more employers are not flexible, but I think the new future of education, the future of work is about flexibility. It's about you working on your time, your schedule, on what works for you, so you can bring your best self. That's how
I
I want to
think
run this
what
class.
what
Yes,
pref what I think what like employees don't understand sometimes is that if you're anxious about doing the work because you have so many other things going on, you're not going to be able to put your best foot forward. Yeah. And I think like if they just kind of understand, care about your mental health a bit more, then you're just going to be able to, care more about the work because like it's about relationships at the end of the day, right? So yeah.
absolutely. And relationships, and but also, I don't know your guys' experience, but frankly, businesses are concerned about efficiency, maximizing, and getting a lot of work done. And if you can't do it because they're going to be grading you on that more or less, they're going to be reviewing you on that. But I agree, Kushi, that if there's flexibility and the person is able to bring them their whole self or better self, then they're going to get better work done. And that's what I'm hoping to do with this type of flexibility with the class, because I don't think tying you down to a time where you have to hear me lecture when that lecture I've already created, I'm here to support you in ways that you need to be supported. So if you need support, please reach out to me and I'm happy to help, meet, connect you with whoever. Um, but we're all professionals here, and this is part of the professionalization process. So there was a question: do we need to listen to both episodes for the extra credit, or we choose one? Choose one. The other good news is, once you complete this class, you are also eligible for a certificate or a credential that you can put on your LinkedIn. So make sure to be on the lookout for that content page in the module. And once you fill that out, I'll send you a credential that you can put on your LinkedIn, because that's becoming more and more and increasingly important. Lastly, um, I'm very active on LinkedIn, all around these topics of creativity, innovation, and entrepreneurship. I would like to encourage all of you to be part of that discussion. One of the biggest tips I have for people who are going to be looking for jobs or for opportunity, you have to put yourself out there. You don't put yourself out there, you're letting everyone else determine your narrative, your story, and who you are. And the best way to combat that is to be out front telling your story, showing that you want to contribute, showing your knowledge and your ability to not just put yourself out there, but relate to the broader context. So I regularly put out posts on these topics, anything from music. 'Cause my work deals with the Grateful Dead, deals with the jam band theory of innovation, deals with a lot of the topics that we will touch on in the class. Feel free to participate, add a comment, give a like, give kudos, follow each other. In addition to that, I'm going to have a post coming out, and I want you guys to think about this, and I would love for you guys to um, kind of add to the conversation. I personally don't think there's been enough acknowledgement of the challenges that we both as students, faculty, and people in the region faced from last semester. And now you guys are just kind of expected to pretend that didn't happen and start over again. And I think there's some value in honoring what we went through and helping us build kind of more resilience, and maybe talk about what helped you get through it, maybe what tips you might have, because guess what's happening? While a hurricane isn't happening, we're all seeing what's happening in the news in LA. That's another type of crisis. Whole universities are closing, people are moving to remote. Um, and I think there's a way that we can be both being, showing some solidarity, but also providing maybe some tips to the rest of the world and people in need of what worked for you to get through such a challenging situation. Um, to share what hacks you've created in times of crisis. I would argue this is very much creative problem solving, very much creative thinking, very much being innovative in time of crisis. Maybe you guys never seen the TV show, but MacGyver is famous for that. When your back is against the wall, necessity is the mother of invention. We saw that with COVID. We saw that with the hurricane, and people need our support with the fires. So I encourage you to follow, engage with the topics on LinkedIn. Put yourself out there. Maddie, I would love for you to share. Oh, I would love for you to share your music, some of your thoughts on that. The other thing is, I dropped my first, you'll like it. I dropped my first record, or my first track as well. It's called The Innovator's Journey. I hope you like it. I collaborated with actually a famous DJ. You can find that out there as well. But I hope you guys push your boundaries. Yes, you can do the minimum work and get an A in this class, but my hope is someone who's an innovator, an entrepreneur, a creative change maker, is going to push their boundaries. And this is an opportunity to do that in a safe space with other talented people. So I'd like to, again, open the floor for questions, thoughts, comments. Who's excited? Can I get some thumbs up, some hearts maybe? Ooh, great,
I'm excited.
great, great. Uh, Alice, you have your hand up. You got a question, comment?
No, I just didn't know how to turn it off. Okay, I got it.
Perfect. Why don't you say that you're really excited for the class?
I'm just really excited to, I don't know, just figure out the path that I want to for the future, you know?
Yeah. Use these exercises to do that. Because guess what? If you're unsure about a direction, or you think you want a direction, the reason why your creative environment is important, because maybe that's someone who has a job or a career that you'd want. Go talk to them. If you're surrounding yourself with good people, that's a reflection of you. So this is all very good. Personal brand development. I would argue everything that we do in this class is around personal branding, which is very important in today's age. So maybe think about that. Cool. Zachary's very excited. Woo woo. Who else? Anyone else?
I'm excited because um I'm a musician, but I also like the idea of kind of sitting with my creativity and being able to expand what I'm able to do.
I mean, this, and not everyone has time for this. So while Maddie, you might be working in one direction, another one would be like, how many circles can I fill in, right? And it might not come intuitive because we're trained very differently. We're trained very, very differently.
I'm really excited because I'm a data analyst, but we have a lot of creative problem solving, and I work with a lot of climate data. So, like you
Ooh.
mentioned, the LA wildfires and everything, um, they have to work on projects about that. So, I really want to present it in a nice way that can actually make a difference and, like present some creative solutions and problem solving. So, I'm excited about this.
Wonderful. Keep up the great work. And absolutely, we're never going to solve these big challenges with the same type of thinking that created them. In addition to that, you'd be happy. Last December, I was invited to speak with and be on the panel with the mayor of London, If you guys know what the mayor of London's doing, they're really investing in green technology, climate technology, and the workforce of the future. And I got to present a bit about my jam band theory of innovation and the research that I do that ties to sustainable innovation. So keep up the great work.
Thank you.
Like I said, I'm here for you. I'm your biggest fan. I want to be a resource for you today, tomorrow, and in the future. And this course is fun. If you engage with the content, you engage with the material, you're going to get out what you put in. So I'm here for you on this journey. I look forward to seeing you on the 27th in person if you're able to make it. And it's going to be we're going to have a good time. I'll hang on if anyone wants to talk after class, but otherwise I'm going to end the recording right now unless there's any last minute questions.